What did a minority of idiots ruin for everyone else? Years ago, Long John Silver's would donate their excess food to a local shelter. One idiot tried to get rich by suing the chain, saying the donated food was tampered with, even alleging it was purposeful to kill the homeless population. The case went nowhere, but it made all the local restaurants hesitant to donate, and now none of them donate any food at all. My high school used to do a big breakfast buffet for graduating seniors on the last day of school. Bacon, eggs, pancakes, sausage, fruits, pastries, cereal, grits, oatmeal, juice, coffee, basically anything you could imagine, and they'd let you miss your first period class to hang out in the cafeteria for it. It was a big deal that everyone looked forward to. The whole school would smell awesome, and all the other students would be seething with envy in their first period classes. Well, my junior year, the graduating class ahead of me decided to stage a massive food fight. There were grits on the ceiling well into the following year, and of course the principal was so angry my class didn't get a senior breakfast frown. I'm still bitter to this very day. Public toilets. Effective over-the-counter medications. A few losers in the senior class before us took beer and booze on their senior trip, hiding it in shampoo containers in their luggage. They got drunk and found out, and all senior school trips were cancelled starting with ours, the class of 1983. Thanks assholes of 82. I've got a very specific one. I went to see the Godzilla head up close on top of a hotel in Shinjuku, Tokyo. It's been closed indefinitely cause some absolute fucks were climbing on it and causing too many safety issues, and one eventually fell, so we could only look through a window instead. Lame. It was still pretty cool, but fuck those guys. This is personal and anecdotal, but in my hometown there was a loading dock, some ledges, and a couple of concrete pads behind a Kohl's or Marshall's. Basically skate heaven, and the manager of the store would let local kids skate back there so long as they didn't scare off customers, weren't drinking or doing drugs, etc. So one day a couple of dumbasses vandalized the spot and did a bunch of property damage, and after that nobody could skate back there. In Japan, a couple teenage hooligans went to a kaiten sushi chain, conveyor belt sushi, and started licking the sushi and condiments while leaving them on the conveyor belt, all the while filming this for TikTok. Now half of all the kaiten sushi chains have outright stopped having the sushi on the conveyor belt to be taken. You have to order it for it to arrive. The whole joy of kaiten sushi is to take as it comes, so this is massively disappointing. Airport security used to be so easy. A lot of archaeological tourism sites like the Egyptian pyramids and Machu Picchu. People kept taking pieces as mementos. Now they won't even let you get close to a lot of these. Where I used to live there's a public park with a big hill, and when it snowed people would sled down it. A kid ran into a pole and had to get stitches, and his mom tried to sue the city. Now it's against the law to sled down the big hill. One guy with a half-assed shoe bomb, and now I have to make sure I wear nice socks to the airport every goddamn time. Uklonina. Going unsupervised to amusement parks as kid or teenager. Here Southern California, Knott's used to allow teenagers and kids to come and hang as they please. I myself have tons of my best memories going to Knott's with friends. Literally had my first kiss at Knott's, but because of TikTok and handful of idiot teenagers starting fights and mass panic over a non-existent mass shooter, literally kids were yelling that there was an armed shooter as a joke. So now if you're under 21, you have to have a chaperone looking after you. Honestly, feel bad for the kids who were fine and now can't just hang with friends and ride roller coasters. If my nephew or nieces want to go, I or another family member have to agree to chaperone them. I just think that sucks. Edit, I wasn't expecting this to take off, but clarification after looking it up. 15 or younger need a chaperone of 21 plus. 16 and older need an ID. When I was growing up, the electric company would offer free light bulbs to customers. A local business complained that he wasn't selling any bulbs as a result, so no more free bulbs for anyone. I'm an industrial painter. The factory I'm painting in right now has Wi-Fi, but some dumbass downloaded 2 seasons of Supernatural on the company Wi-Fi. Now no one can have the password. Air travel lines, one bad experience or rude passenger can make the whole process feel miserable for everyone. In most of the world, street parties and carnivals. People filming themselves licking soy sauce bottles, putting them back, and being little shits in general basically wiped out the concept of running sushis in Japan. It's steered to an order basis only, and it just ain't the same. Air travel. One single idiot ruined the relaxed dress code we pushed for at work. Normally the company required a blue or gray suit with tie every day. I worked in the creative department, and it took a long time to convince the powers that be to let us wear khakis and a button-up with no tie to feel a little more relaxed and creative. Part of this deal, we actually had to access the building via the back door and weren't allowed in the main, client-facing areas. New guy gets hired in his first Friday, knowing full well the dress code, wears a ripped hoodie and jeans. That Monday we were all back to full suits. Fuck that dude. I mean, what didn't a minority of idiots ruin for everyone else? Every single fandom subreddit eventually gets taken over by small contingent of toxic fans/trolls driving out anyone wanting to have a normal discussion just be attrition alone. Video game, movie, show, book doesn't matter, eventually it turns into this hate echo chamber over the smallest BS and people have to create separate subreddit just to share normal opinions that isn't regurgitated hate. My city has a cool waterfall that people were going down to see for decades. Then a couple of old people who should never have been trying the descent to the bottom fell and hurt themselves. Now it's a 10K fine for anyone who tries to go to the foot of the waterfall. Living in close quarters or using public spaces. Most people are fine, but there's always someone playing loud music with no headphones on the bus or subway. A jerk littering in public parks or putting their half-empty coffee cup on the store shelf and walking away. It wasn't too heavy to carry around when you wanted to sip at it, but now, just going to leave it right here where it doesn't belong and can spill on someone for the help to pick up. The idiot who lets their dog run around on off-leash and out of control but yells it's okay, he's friendly. Friendly but muddy and jumping, and I'm not trusting your judgment, you've already shown it to be poor. Maybe I'm not friendly or the dog I'm trying to train? Idiots ruin everything. Thrifting. It used to be a place to find reasonably priced items. Now too many people use it as a way to flip items. At my work, if one person screws up, the whole office pays for it, instead of just reprimanding that one person. It sucks and is stupid. Why am I getting into trouble for something I haven't done wrong? Z Library, I still think of her. Raise return policy. Remember how measles was gone and tuberculosis was on the way out? We call the CAVE men in my town. Citizens against virtually everything. Thieves and scammers at retail stores. More and more stuff is being locked up and you have to jump through hoops to return a broken product. Pseudoephedrine. I just want a good decongestant. But meth labs use the stuff. So now I have to ask for it and it only comes in packs of 12. I'm just trying to unstuff my ears after a cold. Terrorists. The airport was a lot easier and a more pleasant experience pre 9/11. Vending machines in schools. They used to be in the common areas, end of a hallway, strategically placed outside near eating areas, obviously the cafeteria. They weren't all super junky food, there were some nice bagged salads and healthier drinks than sodas. Our school specifically had ginger tea, honey lemon iced tea, and hibiscus tea. Some kid in our school decided to blow over $500 on just the sodas one week. His parents complained about how easy it was for the children to rot their teeth with the vending machines. Our school had them all removed, doubly incentivized by the fact a school nutrition policy change would be active soon. They were gone by the end of the following week. Fuck you, Jeremy. Collecting is a hobby. I want to collect Pokemon cards because I like the art and love collecting cards of my favorites. Scalpers completely ruined that. In Sweden, some idiot family let their young daughter play freely in a graveyard, including climbing very old ones, one of which fell and killed her. This resulted in government starting a project to secure all gravestones nationwide. All registered grave owners had to pay for this. Cost me €3,000. Starting this year, I'm not allowed to have a propane grill because I live in an apartment. About 20 years ago they banned charcoal, at least with it you had a literal pile of smoldering rocks for an hour after you were done that could pose a risk, but I miss charcoal burgers at home. Frown. The insult of you're allowed to have a grill but it has to be electric motherfuckers, that's a George Foreman on a stand. Pitchers of milk left on a sideboard cabinet at coffee shops so customers can top up. Stingy miser assholes kept using way too much of it, purposely ordering drinks without milk and then adding it for free, so most places have done away with them and now we need to ask for more when we need it. Thanks, tightwads.